What's up, G Fusion fans? This is Philip, and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to talk about the Sentai Gears, the source of power for the Zenkaigers. Now, before we begin, I would like to remind everyone that these videos are not intended for viewers under the age of 13, so please be advised. Now, I would like to start off by admitting that since we are still very early on into the show, I really cannot tell you guys what each and every Sentai gear does because most of them we haven't seen in action yet. However, I am making this video based on what I have observed so far, based on some of the Sentai gears that have been used until now. So, for this video, I actually would like to classify the Sentai gears based on how they are used. So let's start off with the very first classification of Sentai gear used in the show, which are the transformation Sentai gears. So, of course, these Sentai gears allowed the transformation of the Zenkaigers, Twokaiser, and even Staceasar. So yes, I will include Staceasar in this video because he basically uses Sentai gears. They're just the evil versions. And you notice that I have Twokaiser separated just a little bit because he works a bit differently than the original Zenkaigers anyway. So we're going to talk about the core five Twokaiser and Staceasar in three separate categories. So we already have that sub classification, I guess. But now we're going to move on to the core five Zenkaigers. So uh, we already have mentioned the transformation gears that allow the transformation into the Zenkaigers. Now we have two more classifications of Sentai gears used by the Zenkaigers. So first would be the ability gears. Now these gears allow the Zenkaigers to copy or imitate any special ability or finisher that has been used by previous Sentai. Now, a good example would be in episode 1, where Zenkaiser used the Geoger Sentai gear to fly just like Duo Eagle, and Juran used the Ninja Sentai gear to perform the Ninja's finisher. And another example that I can remember would be the Hurricaneger Sentai gear, which allowed the Zenkaigers to perform the shadow attack of the Hurricanegers. So the next category that I'm going to talk about would be the equipment gears. Now, the equipment gears are Sentai gears that allow the Zenkaigers to either summon weapons or other equipment that have been used by previous Sentai. Now, in episode 4, for example, Zenkaiser summoned the Dairen rods of the Dairangers. In episode 5, he was able to summon the Ryuso Ken from Ryusoger. And recently, he used the Tensoder from Goseiger. So, again, not necessarily exclusive to weapons, but again, any kind of equipment that may also be used for attacking, just like the Tensoder, because uh, he was Zenkaiser was able to use the Tensoder and the uh, Tornado card. So, yeah, we can count that as an equipment card. Now, while we're talking about the core five, so we again their appearances are based on the Sentai gears that they use. So again, Juran transforms using the Ju Ranger Sentai gear. Now, interestingly, I think in episode 7, if I remember correctly, uh, Gaon used a Gao Ranger Sentai gear to fight the fake Gao Rangers. So, yeah, he transformed using his Gao Ranger inspired Sentai gear, but he was also able to use a Gao Ranger Sentai gear. Now, what did this Gao Ranger gear do? It actually gave him the claws that you can see on the fingertips of the Gao Rangers, when they do their claw attacks. So yeah, we can classify the Gao Ranger gear, not the Zenkai Gaon gear. So that would be a different gear apparently. So we have the Zenkaiger gears and then the Sentai gears. So again, Zenkai Gaon used the Gao Ranger Sentai gear to claw the fake copies of the Zenkaigers, or rather Gao Rangers. I'm sorry. So yeah, we can assume that the original Sentai counterparts of the other Zenkaigers will have some other special effects as well. So let's say with Juran again, because he has the Zenkai Juran Sentai gear, I'm assuming, or at least I'm hoping personally, that the Juranger Sentai gear would actually summon the Howling Cannon, and they would use it as a finisher. So maybe I would classify that again as an equipment type if that happens. But you know, so those are the kinds of Sentai gears that the Core 5 use. Now let's talk about Twokaiser. So obviously his design is based off of the Gokaigers, and Flint herself admits that they just ripped off the designs. That's why they look like Twokaiser looks like Gokai Red basically. Now, of course, we already know his transformation gear, the Gokaiger inspired Twokaiser gear, and you can see here he is wearing the katana form. Now, interestingly, Two Kaiser only starts with 3 gears. So his Two Kaiser gear, the Katana, and the Riki gears. So let's go back to Kaiser's history a little bit. So Flint says that they were able to discover this kind of capability or this kind of power when they infiltrated a Tojitendo stronghold. And I think so. This is maybe plot point. So I'm not sure if this is spoiler yet, but so they found the designs for the Sentai gears. Uh, Therefore, Flint was able to create, you know, to Kaiser, and you know because they do use very similar Sentai gears to the Core 5, so we can assume that the designs that were used to create to Kaiser and his abilities so far were actually designs that were created or used, or this is just my theory for now. So these again, the designs that were used to create two Kaiser were basically designs that were used by Kaito's parents to create the Zenkaigers. So again, that would be a theory for the moment, but uh, it's the most likely explanation that I have as well as to how two Kaiser can become two Kaiser with similar technology. So for two Kaiser, uh, like I said, he only starts with 3, but Flint was also able to copy other Sentai gears after Kaito showed her his own Zen Kaiser gear. So because she was able to copy that technology, she Flint was also able to create Sentai gears based off of previous Sentai. Now, so far, other than Riki and Katana and his own two Kaiser gear, uh, two Kaiser was able to use 2 Sentai gears so far. So first we have the Geki Ranger Sentai gear, which allowed him to summon Geki Chopper's signature weapon, also transformation device. So we would assume I would have assumed that Twokaiser would be able to use abilities and or equipment that were used exclusively by 6th Rangers. However, do take note that Geki Chopper is not, I repeat, not classified as a 6th Ranger. Why? Because he does not appear on Gokai Silver Gold Mode's chest armor. That's my basis, but I think it's solid enough evidence. So the next Sentai gear that he uses, in the same episode by the way, is the Hurricaneer gear. Now, like I mentioned earlier, for the core 5 Zenkaigers, it's an ability type Sentai gear. However, Twokaiser's version is actually an equipment gear which summons uh, Shurikenger's main weapon. So his sword, which also functions as a baseball bat. So yeah, Twokaiser was able to use that as well. Now, as for abilities, uh, he was also able to use his Turbo Ranger gear. However, this was a copy created by Flint. Now, I haven't mentioned Turbo Ranger earlier, but this was actually in the most recent episode. So, the Turbo Ranger gear allows the Zenkaigers to move at Mach speeds, which is kind of strange considering that the original Turbo Rangers did not actually move that fast at all. Like whenever they ran, they just ran normally. So, huh? But in any case, so uh the Zenkaigers used that Turbo Ranger gear, and then Flint copied it to create her own to create their own version of the Turbo Ranger gear. But they're basically the same thing. So, two Turbo Ranger Sentai gears of that provide the same capabilities exist. Probably the 6th Ranger type Sentai gears, they would be like from the Jew Ranger onwards. So, but I don't know if let's say like Magna Warrior from Bioman, or like the X1 prototype mask from Maskman. I'm not sure if Twokaiser is going to be able to use them, but so far, yeah, he's used at least two other Sentai gears. Now, going back a bit to Katana and Riki. So again, to Kaiser is able to use them for power ups such as the Katana and Riki forms, but he also uses them to transform their ship, the Crocodile O, into Tsukai O Katana or Riki form. So it's one or the other. So, anyways, now let's move on to Caesar. And I think Caesar is the easiest one to talk about. So he has his, uh, Sentai gear or Dark Sentai gear, whatever you could call it. Uh, Now, well, it is not really said or explained. We can see that his design is heavily inspired by Battle Fever J, especially Battle Japan. And this is actually confirmed with his robo, the Battle Caesar robo. So yeah, uh, he is inspired by Battle Fever J. Now, for Stacy's Sentai gears, now he basically just uses them to summon fake copies of past Super Sentai, and yeah, that's it. He does not really, he does not use them in any other way. He does not have other abilities that he can use when he uses the Dark Sentai gears, but not only is he able to, summon uh, fake copies of past Sentai, but he can also summon fake copies of their robots. Which, interestingly, when they appear, they come from backgrounds that are actually based on their package designs, like the deluxe robot toys, deluxe Gattai toys, which is a very interesting callback. And there is also a limit to how many he can summon, because Apparently, when he summons too many robots at once, or probably even fake Sentai, so it could probably it causes uh, his own version of the Geertlinger to run out of power very quickly. So it's not a perfect system apparently, and Stacy has learned how to use it sparingly so that he doesn't run out of power in combat. So yeah, that's basically it for Stacy, and I think that's all for this video as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I know it's quite complicated to look at, but this is how I see it so far, from my observations. So, again, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please do leave a like, comment, share this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get the latest from JE Fusion. This has been Philip, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!